bought or sold.
Rahul Gandhi deliberately does this repeatedly after his speech, which normally is full of lies and allegation. He runs away and he never sits to listen to the reply of the minister. When you are making allegation, you should listen to the reply. So it is very unfortunate that we don't have a very serious nature or a person with a serious character befitting the position of the leader of opposition.
He has a habit of making baseless allegations. Sometimes they're traveling abroad, and when they come to parliament, as one of my colleagues said, पहले तो ये parliament से बाहर हो जाते थे, अगर कोई substantive reply दे रहा तो उसको सुनने नहीं आते थे, used to walk out, और आज अपनी speech देने के बाद चले गए.
Well, has the India-US trade deal really compromised our sovereignty, as Rahul Gandhi claims? Or is this political rhetoric without substance? That's big question number one. Will the breach of privilege motion silence legitimate opposition criticism, or is it a necessary step against what the government calls misleading statements in the parliament? We'll decode all of that. With me on the broadcast, Arshpreet Karyal, spokesperson of the Congress Party. Many thanks for joining us. Manish Bariyar, spokesperson from the BJP, joining us here on the broadcast. Dilip Chinoy, former Secretary General FICCI, with us here on the broadcast as well. Mr. Bariyar, let's get the snowball rolling here. Hefty allegations. We played out those sound bites. Sell out, surrender. He used the MMA analogy of choking out and then tapping as well. And finally, selling out Bharat Mata. I mean, why are these a bundle of lies? Why are the Treasury benches saying that these are baseless allegations? Is data not the petrol for artificial intelligence? Are farmers not under the bus? Energy security, isn't it a necessary concern at the moment? Where is the lie, essentially? Help the viewers understand here. Rahul Gandhi alleges that the tariff exposure has increased for India from an average of 3% earlier to now 18%, all of this under the new framework. Help the viewers understand. Over to you.
Good evening to you, and good evening to my co-panelists and all the viewers. I think it was one of the most unfortunate, irresponsible speeches ever by a leader of opposition. And if I have to put the second most unfortunate, it would still be Rahul Gandhi. But let me come to your question first regarding that. If what I understand of the trade deal, and you have a gentleman here from the trade representative.
Yeah.
The average tariff on India before this entire extra, which was done by USA, was somewhere around average of 3%. And what you see of 18% is again an average of 3%. It is not more than that. So actually, it has not changed. India has got a huge relief because of the punitive tariffs which we got. So that's the first kind of a lie. And which I think, which is why this privilege motion is there, because he's misleading the nation. When it comes to energy sovereignty, you talked about it. There's so much of hypocrisy. When India went for Russian oil, there was so much of criticism by Congress Party that we were funding the Russian war, and there was no this thing for Ukraine. And now look at the hypocrisy. So when we are buying Russian oil, the cheaper Russian oil, you are accusing us of hypocrisy and funding the war. And when we are for our country, for the geopolitics and the current situation, if we are saying that we've not said that we are not buying Russian oil. What we have said is that nation first, our interest first, and that means that we can actually get a basket of products from anywhere, depending on whether India benefits or not. Now, if you look at all these, he has talked about AI and budget. Then I can tell you, budget has major allocations for semiconductor mission. It has AI centers, digital infrastructure. India AI mission is operational. You have UPI, ONDC, digital public infrastructure.
No, that's right. He started his entire speech by saying that we've given up our digital sovereignty and digital trade rules. We've given control over those. There's a 20-year free tax holiday.
The irony and the hypocrisy is that during Congress regime, In fact, and he talks about data as a new petrol for AI.
Yeah.
Why did Congress leave the tank open for decades? They did not do anything for digital infrastructure. They did not do. Did Congress Party did anything for data protection? Who brought the data protection law? Who is ensuring that the data centers are coming to India? Who made sure that some of the most secretive data, which are important for financial transactions,
you're right.
now
You're
living
making a
in
pertinent
India?
point, Mr. Barrier.
That
But
has
I mean,
all happened by this government. And
there is
that's
no
something
need
which is
for
very important.
data localization, free data flow to the United States, no source code mentioning that's
He's
required.
absolutely wrong. He's absolutely
Okay,
wrong
all
here
right.
again. In fact, that's what I'm saying, that he has a habit of shooting and scooting, and that's what he does. Highly irresponsible. In fact, let me talk about the trade deal also, because he talked under UPA, trade deal was worse. India signed several FTAs, ASEAN nations and all that.
Yeah.
It hurt our manufacturing. But have we done that? We have balanced it so well. Right, so we have now a trade policy with US. The fine prints are there, but then the entire substantial thing is
All right.
going to be in the month of March. We have a European Union. We have now with Australia, with UK. We have with Oman, UAE. Now, this is the kind of work which the government is doing instead of appreciating. Now, I'm not against a leader of opposition actually making substantial contribution to the discussion. That's his right. But he can't insult the country like this, the way he does that. And he has a habit of doing that. He did that with Mr. Narawane. And again today, when Mr. Narawane
Okay, all
clarified,
right. We have
didn't
Mr.
say anything
Chinoy.
about
He'll
it.
help us understand, the Trade Balancing Act. But before that, let me quickly bring in Arshpreet Kadyal. I can see you jot down some of those rejoinder points as well. But, at that, Arshpreet, the Congress Party and especially Rahul Gandhi described the framework as unequal. But Donald Trump has always been like that. I mean, ever since last year, January 20th, ever since the inauguration ceremony, we've seen him use trade tariffs as that weaponized mechanism. You have to play the cards right. We don't know what exactly went behind the doors. In trade negotiation terms, what specific asymmetry is the Congress Party really worried about here? We know what all Rahul Gandhi said. Of course, your rejoinder as well to what Mr. Barrier said.
Thank you for the question. See, all these events, Howdy Modi, Namaste Trump, Ab Ki Baar, Trump Sarkar, all those hugs, all those friendships, and what have we gotten out of it? Tariffs. What have we gotten out of it? Zero cooperation from the US. Let's see what India got and what the US got. US got a $500 billion deal. They got 0% tariffs. They got 100% cooperation from the BJP government. They got everything they demanded. And on the other hand, what did India get? Zero. Nothing at all. No deal whatsoever. We got tariffs, 18%. I mean, we happen to be the world's largest democracy. You were talking about being Vishwaguru. Why do you not impose counter tariffs on them? We are strong. Indians are strong. India is strong. But the BJP's mindset is not strong. It's weak. The leader who's leading us is weak. That's why they haven't imposed counter tariffs on the US. They imposed 18% on us, imposed 36% on them. If they impose 50% on us,
No, but
impose
Arshpreet,
100%.
if I may,
Strong.
the United States has revised that fact sheet. That's what headlines were doing rounds today as well, removing references to quote-unquote certain pulses and changing committed to intents. I mean, why do you think these are walkbacks necessarily? The BJP will say that this is India pushing back. How is this essentially a chokehold?
See, the fact of the matter is, Mr. Gandhi rightly asked the Bharatiya Janata Party, have you no shame? Have you no shame at all whatsoever? You're selling our country, you're selling India, but the BJP didn't answer it because the BJP is in the habit of imposing their Man Ki Baat on us. They're in the habit of imposing USA's Man Ki Baat. These are achhe din for the US and for the BJP and bure din for the country and for the countrymen. We want to ask the Bharatiya Janata Party's government, why have you surrendered control over data? Why have you surrendered control over the digital trade rules, capped the digital taxes, waived source code disclosure, and granted long tax holidays to big tech companies? Why do you not consult the stakeholders? And not just that, Donald Trump said that on the request of Mr. Modi, this deal was signed, and even said Mr. Modi agreed to stop buying Russian oil and rather will buy it from the USA or Venezuela. This is what Donald Trump has said. My request to the BJP is, otherwise you give a lot of statements, you do a lot of things. Why do you not rebut what Donald Trump is saying? If you do not agree with him, if he is lying or misleading you, misquoting you, then why does Mr. Modi not do a press conference that he has not done in the last 11 years and call the lie out that I haven't said it? It's not been done on my request. I haven't agreed to it. Neither did he say this back in the day when Donald Trump was time and time again telling the world that he got the ceasefire done, that he used trade for it. He kept on telling it to the world, saying it again and again, kept on tom-tomming about it. But the Modi government, the BJP government kept quiet. Not a word was uttered by them. Not a single thing was done by them when Donald Trump was demeaning us in front of the entire world. And similarly, Donald Trump is undermining India and Indians, and he's conveying a message to the world that when you impose tariffs on India, it does not do anything. It does not give it back. It does not impose counter tariffs on you.
Okay.
This week, Bharatiya Janata Party's government has rendered us in a massive loss. Back-to-back setbacks have been suffered by us because of the Bharatiya Janata Party's inexperience, incompetence. And we tell the Bharatiya Janata Party, your tenure will be written
We heard you.
black pages and in black when it comes to history.
We heard you.
BJP's
So,
tenure would
essentially,
be written in black.
the trade deal signifies that we let US walk all over us. We let Mr. Barrier respond to that. But before that, let me please bring in Mr. Chinoy, former Secretary General, FICCI. Sir, let's ground the noise in hard trade economics. How significant are these latest edits, removing pulses, changing committed to intents? How significant are these edits in the trade diplomacy? And also talk to us about the tariffs moving from these MFN averages of 3% to 18%. What is the correct way to interpret the US trade deal here?
So thank you, Kabir. If I just put it, take your last question first, just to give the context of the trade deal. There's a MFM tariff, and there's a retaliatory tariff, and there's a Russian tariff. The three tariffs as far as the US is concerned, right? The retaliatory tariff is absolutely applicable on all nations that have a surplus with the United States.
Yeah.
And if you look at the comparative tariffs of that 18% equivalent, even Bangladesh has got 19, China has got 35. The only two nations that are lower than us are UK and Europe, right? Otherwise, all the other nations around the world have a higher tariff than India. So you've got to look at the tariffs in comparison, in relation. The other thing is that in this thing, for example, the US tariffs are not kicking in now. The Indian tariffs have kicked in. The 18% have kicked in as when he signed that declaration on the 7th of February. And in fact, there is a move, and there is a thing that even silk has currently got zero duty. All right, Indian silk exported to the US. Now there is going to be the other, the details are going to be worked out. By end of March, we'll have the duties, which are in Annexure 3 for all countries, right? Whether they will go to 0, whether they will go to 3, 4, whatever it is, right? And even if in this deal, the auto components have got a tariff rate quota which exempts them from that special 25% duty that is levied on them. So from an industry point of view, and given that most of our exports to the US were in the labor-intensive segments, this is a very positive deal for India. It's also...
Let's ground this statement as well, Mr. Chinoy. On the textile front, you were talking about silk. Rahul Gandhi says, we're finished. Bangladesh tariff has been brought down to 0%. Ours is 18%. We're finished on the textile front, says Rahul Gandhi. How is the industry really looking at it? Energy security. On the farmers front, Rahul Gandhi said, we've opened the door to crush our farmers. Help us understand these statements.
No, I don't want to get into the politics of it, but let me tell you what it means. Each country that has got like Bangladesh has got 19% tariff, they will now negotiate which of their sectors will go to 0. That's not happened yet. Okay, that's going to take point. As you know, Bangladesh is in the midst of elections and all. It's going to take time, right? And if any country gets, and Trump is very clear, it's going to be 0 for 0, and it's going to be reciprocal tariffs. So but what is very interesting in this, that there were certain items which as a country which we want to develop, or let's say the GPUs, right? They were being denied to us. Now, under this initial tranche, those have been made accessible to us. And therefore, it helps us to, position ourselves as a major AI center. And one of the challenges is that I'm not contradicting anything or rebutting anything. I'm just saying that long-term investment, income tax reduction on data centers in India has been the ask for many industry in India. It's not necessarily done in response to a trade deal. I'm just trying to put that in perspective there. And we did this for the IT sector earlier also. In the 80s and 90s, we gave a tax holiday to the IT sector at that time for a long time. It's only very recently that they've come into the tax net. So the trade deal is a strategic intent, and I think at this stage the change in wording is also kind of responding to India's position. That, hey guys, we did not actually agree on that, or this is what we meant, etc. And the clarification came in, and the deal is going to be discussed over the next few weeks, and we'll have a final agreement. So I think it's important from our perspective to try to negotiate the best we can.
We hear you. Mr. Barrier, coming back to what Arshpreet said, and of course picking up from where Mr. Chinoy left us, the trade deal, well, the Congress party feels that, United States pretty much walked all over us. And those statements, let me ask you those statements. Our energy is being weaponized. Finance, trade is completely weaponized. He also spoke about the choke being Adani's summons in the United States, which are essentially summons to the Prime Minister. And Rahul Gandhi also said that we've opened the door to literally crush our farmers with the mechanized agriculture that's coming in from the United States. I mean, how do you think these concerns are going to bode well with the lakhs and lakhs of farmers across the country?
No. I think has Rahul Gandhi ever negotiated a trade deal? Does he? I don't know. I have a question mark on that. These trade deals are not a culmination of 2 to 3 months of negotiation or 4 months. Just for viewers' benefit, the Indo-European Union trade deal has been negotiated over a period of last 20 years. Last 20 years. Even Congress party was a party to it. So I don't know whether he does all these make these statements deliberately, or he doesn't understand. Has he run a ministry? Has he really talked to experienced negotiators and diplomats as to what goes into all these things? It's the future of the country. We are talking about these trade deals being there for next 100 years, 200 years, eternity. That's what we are talking about. These are international laws. And therefore, he should have not spoken in a light manner, the way he has done. He doesn't speak as if he's understanding. He speaks as if somebody is prompting him and then he's speaking. He must make more responsible statements. Let's take up one by one. You talked about agriculture. Have we not been able to see? In fact, just this is out of the context. But as a student, I was privy to number of discussions. I was at Indian Institute of Foreign Trade in Delhi, where general agreement of GATT was there, tariffs and trade, and then it led to WTO. India was adamant on labor issues and on farmers, and it was irrespective of the government. I'm talking about at that time Congress government was there, and that position has not changed as far as Indian government is concerned. We are very, very sensitive about agriculture. But yes, some of the it's a negotiated deal. We wanted some of our products to go to US, and we must remember $40 to $50 billion surplus we have. We were the losers when USA put tariff on us. Right? USA was never the loser. So you have to, when you sit in a negotiated trade deal, we have to give in something and you have to get something. But when it comes to agriculture as well as dairy, we've not given anything. We've given some of the products that are not produced in India. So why this kind of a misleading statement? And that should not come from a position of leader of opposition. And that is what my most important complaint is. And I can talk on various issues. But let Mr. Khadial answer on all these things.
We'll let Arshpreet answer that. We'll let Arshpreet answer that. Rahul Gandhi also said Indian data is the asset that can protect your dollar, Mr. Trump. If the India alliance were to negotiate this deal, you were asking that question. I think Rahul Gandhi answered that question himself. Whether he's essentially managed a ministry or not, well, that's not for me to answer. We'll have Mr. Ashpreet Khadial answer that. But Rahul Gandhi also went on to say, if you want access to that data, speak to us as equals. I think that's a pertinent point, isn't it? He also spoke about the American agri-voter base, which Donald Trump essentially wants to protect. We will protect them too. We will not be made equal to Pakistan, says Rahul Gandhi. And before I come to you, Ashpreet, here's the finance minister.
I'm sorry, I'm getting actually, my audio is now not connected properly, so I'm not able to hear you. I'll try to connect again. I'm really sorry.
Okay, that's all right. Ashpreet, listening to what the finance minister said as she was responding to, well, Rahul Gandhi as well, and of course, your rebuttal to what Mr. Baria said.
देश को बेचने वाले कौन हैं? Who has sold? I tell you who has sold. 2013 में वर्ल्ड ट्रेड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन WTO में जाकर के बाली में कांग्रेस ने एक समझौता करके आए. वो दो ही विषय था, ट्रेड फैसिलिटेशन एक था, दूसरा विषय पब्लिक स्टॉक होल्डिंग ऑफ ग्रेन्स था. पब्लिक स्टॉक होल्डिंग ऑफ ग्रेन्स के ऊपर भारत के हित में कुछ ना करते हुए ट्रेड फैसिलिटेशन के ऊपर साइन करके आ गए थे. इसका मतलब था 2017 जनवरी से भारत देश में कोई किसान से प्रोक्योरमेंट हो नहीं सकता है, और हम रेशन के दुकान से गरीब लोगों को कुछ भी दे नहीं सकते हैं.
You know, Ashpreet, so many numbers that were thrown to the, multitude at large. 3% average, now 18%, 6 times increase, $46 billion to now $146 billion. US has no commitment to us. Isn't there a practical difference per se between political signaling and, of course, what is enforceable obligation? Though the text has been changed a couple of times, and the BJP will, of course, say that this is us pushing back. This is happening behind closed doors. Easy for Rahul Gandhi to say all of that in the parliament. But has he really gone on and handled those trade negotiations?
See, number one, the Bharatiya Janata Party ought to compare Mr. Modi with Mr. Gandhi. Mr. Modi has done not a single press conference in the last 11 years. Mr. Gandhi has done way more. Number two, Mr. Modi's attendance in the parliament in 2021 was 4 hours. That's Mr. Gandhi's attendance for a day. Number three, as far as the Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned, they're accustomed to not consulting the stakeholders. They're accustomed to undermining the democracy. And do they know more about farming than the farmers themselves? Look at the contrast here. In America, the regime is saying to its farmers, see, we're going to be bringing this for you, we're going to be doing this for you, we're going to be doing that for you. And here, on the other hand, the Indian government, the Bharatiya Janata Party's government that has made India suffer so many setbacks, the farmers are criticizing them. Farmers are protesting against them. The Annadata, because of whom their families are fed, because of whom the BJP leaders are fed, and the food's able to reach in the expensive plates. Number two, the Bharatiya Janata Party ought to please tell us one thing, that if other countries can get 0% tariffs,
okay,
why can't we get it? You haven't even attempted, you haven't even tried, because the Bharatiya Janata Party's first interest is party, not the nation. Party interest comes first for the Bharatiya Janata Party. The nation's interest comes later. My request to the Bharatiya Janata Party is, why so many contradictions? On one hand, Mr. Rijiju said that nobody can sell India. On the other hand, Nirmala Sitharaman ji was talking about how India was sold back in the day. I mean, their leaders are not on the same page, contradicting each other. I just request them to please get their facts straight. Who do we believe, Mr. Rijiju, who says India has never been sold, can never be sold? Or do we believe Nirmala Sitharaman ji? And number two, America, you see, what our government is doing, we are finding it from Americans. The US Secretary of Agriculture, Donald Trump, etc. See, we are ready to disbelieve everything that they're saying. But how do we believe the Bharatiya Janata Party? You promised doubling of farmers' income by 2022. Where is it? You promised MSP would be given as a legal guarantee. Your manifesto said it in 2014 and 2019.
Yep.
One year was wasted, 700 farmers were martyred because of those farm laws that you took back later on.
All right,
You
Ashmi,
made six promises to the farmers. Six promises were made. Not a single one of them was delivered. So how do the farmers trust you
like
again?
Mr. Chinoy
How
said,
do they
all
believe
of that
in
is
you
not going to
again?
kick in instantly, but both sides have made their points. Mr. Chinoy, my apologies. I've completely run out of time here. Won't be able to come to you. I'm being told we have a commercial commitment, but many thanks for joining us here, Mr. Barrier, Ashpreet, and Mr. Chinoy. Always a pleasure to have you with us here on News 9. Rahul Gandhi says the government has sold Bharat Mata. The government calls it baseless politics. But beyond the rhetoric lies a trade framework that will shape tariffs, agriculture, energy, and digital policy for years to come. Not so soon, like Mr. Chinoy pointed out. But can trade deals ever be emotional? They're supposed to be transactional, isn't it? And between political fire and economic fact, the country observes and deserves clarity. The question tonight we'll leave you with is simple. Was this strategic bargaining or was this strategic overreach? Our second segment coming right on the other side. Don't go anywhere.
खेलता है झूलता उछलता है दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया यारा ओ यारा शुक्राना तुम्हारा सपने हो पूरे हमें ये यकीन है हम आपके वास्ते हर कहीं है ओ यार दिल कहे सब तू है रे बस चाहिए हमें तू खुश रहे फिक्र हो उड़न छू ओ यारा जब मेरे संग
25 साल से आपने आईसीआईसीआई लॉम्बार्ड पे भरोसा रखा और आपके सपनों को सुरक्षित रखने का मौका दिया। शुक्रिया इंडिया। आईसीआईसीआई लॉम्बार्ड, निभाए वादे।
Every champion's journey starts with second thoughts.
क्या हुआ?
Till they see it's possible and there is someone who truly believes in them.
एक दिन बहुत बड़ा आदमी बनना है ना?
Orchids, the international school, raising 85,000 champions across India.
वकील साहब, अच्छी खासी प्रैक्टिस है। नया फील्ड में क्यों जाना?
सिस्टर देश का सोच रहे
और इसके फ्यूचर का नहीं सोच रहे?
SBI लाइफ से अपनी बेटी का फ्यूचर सिक्योर है।
तभी तो इनको अपने इरादे पूरे करने का राइट है। करो पूरे अपने इरादे, अपनों से किए सभी वादे। SBI लाइफ अपने लिए, अपनों के लिए।
ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಅಂದರೇನು? ಇದು ಎಂಜಿನಿನ ಗರ್ಜನೆಯೇ. ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಚಲನೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಸಹಜತೆ, ಇದು ಹಸಿವು. ನಾವು ಕಿಚ್ಚಾಸ್ ಕಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು.
Welcome back. The Kanpur Lamborghini case, it seems, is over before it could even begin. And there are some unanswered questions that now we as a society collectively need to answer. Let's look at the ongoing controversy surrounding that Lamborghini crash in Kanpur, a high-speed accident on the 8th of February, injuring several people grievously. And the case has now become a point of sharp debate between police evidence and the defense claims from the accused side. Police say clear proof points to Shivam Mishra, son of tobacco baron businessman, as the driver of that Lamborghini, 10 crore rupee Lamborghini. But the family, their lawyer, and a man named Mohan, who surrendered in court, insist someone else was behind the wheel. The court has asked for a police report, with the next hearing set for tomorrow. Interestingly, yesterday, Shivam's father said that he does not know who was driving, whilst the lawyer today has clearly stated that Shivam's driver was at the wheel. Now, Mohan himself appeared in court. He surrendered and claimed he was driving during the accident.
गाड़ी में ड्राइवर और शिवम दो लोग थे। कार चला कौन रहा था? मैं नहीं था वहाँ पे, मुझे नहीं मालूम। ये जांच का विषय है।
शिवम मिश्रा और ड्राइवर दोनों लोग गाड़ी में बैठे हुए थे। जो ड्राइवर गाड़ी चला रहा था उससे एक दिन पहले गाड़ी को बनाने वाले कुछ लोग आए थे और वो उसका ड्राइवर का कहना ये है कि गाड़ी में अचानक साइड से एक टेम्पो वाले ने टक्कर मारी और उसके बाद बगल में मोटरसाइकिल खड़ी तो उससे इनकी गाड़ी टकरा गई। इतना ही मुझे बताया ड्राइवर ने।
जब तुम चला रहे थे तुम्हारे मालिक बगल में बैठे थे क्या हो गया था उनको? दौड़ा पड़ गया।
How convenient, all of it, isn't it? The case seems to be headed towards Shivam not facing the rule of law, as it has now been revealed that the victim's family has agreed for a compromise with compensation and reportedly told the court that it was Mohan and not Shivam who was driving the supercar during the crash.
अभियुक्त है उसके द्वारा शपथ पत्र दिया गया है और शपथ पत्र इस आशय का दिया गया कि मैं उस गाड़ी का स्थायी रूप से चालक हूं और घटना वाले दिन मैंने इस घटना को कारित किया था। बराबर पुलिस के संपर्क में रहा। जो इंजर्ड है और उस मुकदमे का मुद्दई है, जो उस मुकदमे का वादी है, उसने समझौता किया है और सारा कंपनसेशन उसने ले लिया है और लेने के बाद में उसने एक नीचे लाइन लिखी है कि मैं इस मुकदमे में किसी भी तरह की कोई कार्रवाई नहीं चाहता हूं।
Now, was this affidavit submitted to court under due duress? What's really happening? Well, we'll find out. But the talk is all about how Shivam was not driving the Lamborghini. But look at the visuals on the screen, recorded by a bystander just moments after the crash. It shows bouncers near the driver's door after the crash. Then you can see one of the bouncer extracting Shivam from the driver's seat, and just after that, he is carried out from the driver's side of the car into another car. Look at it for yourself. This is a raw footage from the crash site, but Shivam's battery of lawyers, propped up by his wealth, are confident that they will change the identity and it will be Mohan, the driver. There's a price for everything, I guess. Projected as someone sitting in the driver's seat, and it wasn't actually Shivam. What's not to be forgotten is that authorities who are supposed to ensure justice were found wanting. The role of the Kanpur police has come under intense scrutiny. In the immediate aftermath, the FIR was filed against an unknown driver, even though the car and the individuals involved were clearly identified almost instantly. More concerning is the timeline of the investigation. No blood tests were conducted, making it impossible to determine if the driver was under the influence or not. Bystanders said he looked drunk. The mandatory medical examinations were skipped, the vehicle wasn't inspected promptly, and key witness statements were delayed for days. And as the court waits for a formal police report this February 12th, the public is left wondering if this is a case of a systemic cover-up. The big questions that we are asking on the broadcast tonight: if Mohan was truly the driver, why do multiple eyewitnesses and CCTV clips show Shivam being pulled out of the driver's side by his own bouncers? Do the reported police delays, like the late FIR update, no quick arrest, and delayed vehicle inspection, point to lapses? Or is there something more that we're trying to find out? And finally, has the compromise and compensation package for the victims ensured that rich brat Shivam escape real accountability? With me on the broadcast, A.K. Jain, former DGP Uttar Pradesh, Dilip Cherian, brand guru, founder Perfect Relations and Image Group, Jyotika Kalra, advocate Supreme Court and former member National Human Rights Commission. DGP Jain, what do you make of this? What do you make of these red flags? CCTV footage, eyewitnesses reportedly show one person at the wheel, that is Shivam Mishra, but another individual days later surrenders in court. There's an affidavit in place. Everything's hunky-dory. Compensation bhi de diya gaya hai. The complainant has changed his stand and statement. What does this tell us about our own institutions?
Nothing can be done if a complainant has been won over. You can't do anything about it. But court has asked for a police report when Mohan surrendered in the court. Now police will submit report as reported by police commissioner and by other officers that Shivam Mishra was driving the vehicle and he was extracted out of that driver's seat by bouncers and taken away in a black SUV. So that report will be of importance in the court. It all depends on the
police report now.
On the judgment, which will be delivered tomorrow, whether a judge will discharge.
But DGP Jain, tell us this, tell the viewers this. No blood sample was taken within the crucial first hours. After 72 hours, isn't the toxicology evidence effectively lost?
Yes, it is lost. It is lost. If sample has not been taken, if urine test has not been conducted, so it is naturally lost. And I'm told that he has been taken away without informing the local police to Delhi. And under the pretext that he's not well and he's suffering from epilepsy fits and he is being treated, he's under the treatment of doctors. So naturally, money played its part. And money played its role as far as the driver is concerned.
DGP, I must also ask you this. I mean, from your own experience, what do you think, what category does this fall into? Is this a botched up investigation? Doesn't seem like it. More looks like a compromised situation. What category would you put this in?
No, it's a compromised situation. Botched up investigation, you can't say, because I have not seen the case diaries and I think police has taken the
But the delay in the FIR,
time.
sir, the unknown person in the FIR in the beginning.
I don't know. That's why I have already said on few channels that what was the hurry to register FIR so early that an unidentified person has been named as accused, because if SHO Waltoli and his seniors had visited the spot, they would have come to know from the eyewitnesses that Shivam Mishra was driving the vehicle and Shivam Mishra should have been named. And I don't know why that was not done. He has been sent to lines and a new person has been posted at Gwaltoli. I don't know who's the IO of the case, but the way this family was behaving, they were not opening the doors of the house in Kanpur. He was standing outside. He was waiting to record the statement. This shows the high-handedness of the family, the money power, muscle power.
It almost seems like the tobacco baron and those kind of headlines that the family is seeing, that they're getting more gung-ho about this. They're getting more confident with this. Mr. Cherian, many thanks for taking out the time. I'm glad you could, because you're the right person to be asking this. We've seen similar controversies. We were talking about the Pune crash as well. Is this a pattern about money, about power networks, deeper cultural comfort that comes with this unsolicited impunity? I mean, there's this saying, Amir ki chakki garib hi peesta hai.
Kabir, the first aspect of this, I would call, with no pun intended, XYG, which is essentially stands for a person X, Y standing for Yogi, and G standing for Gutka barons. You're elevating them by saying tobacco barons. Essentially, the Gutka lobby is immensely powerful, and clearly, even Yogi seems to be under their thrall, because it would just require one phone call from him to ensure that this kind of high-handed stupidity by the scion of a Gutka baron is taken into account, and X is clearly named as to who was the driver. That is obvious both from the CCTV cameras as well as eyewitness reports. Now, obviously, it is possible to hush this up by making the victim connive with you by paying him off with a very large sum, which the family is clearly happy to throw the money around.
Which has been done. Clearly, it's over. It's done.
Yeah. And from a brand UP perspective, I think this emphasizes that in UP, the level of lawlessness, which was supposed to be under control in the Yogi regime, seems to have slipped badly in this case. And the police will have a lot of answering to do to the public even if they get away in the court and elsewhere, as the DGP said.
You know, Mr. Cherian, what needs to be done here? I mean, we should be talking about road safety here, but we talk about power and privilege. When will this change? What needs to be done?
If the boy had epilepsy, he should not be behind the wheel anyway, just to start with. So, in any case, we are really talking of the fundamentals of how law works in India and why and whether, Kabir, there is a different law for the rich, which is a very dangerous thing for any society to project about itself. That is the bigger worry. From a brand India perspective also, that is a big worry.
Quite a rich statement coming from me, because this is quote-unquote rich justice that we're seeing here, Mr. Cherian. Hope that good sense prevails and it changes. We also have with us Jyotika Kalra, Advocate Supreme Court and former member NHRC. Ma'am, you know, very quickly, help us understand, if a complainant changes the stance and files a compromise affidavit naming a different driver, how should now the legal system respond? I mean, is the battle already lost, like DGP Jain said in the beginning?
No, I think the first thing, it's not the prerogative of the complainant to initiate the criminal system or not. Complainant's prerogative come only when the matter has to be compromised. That can be like compoundable or like plead guilty kind of a thing. But at the first stage, if this choice or option is given to the complainant, whether he wishes to go ahead with the complaint or not, then the criminal system can never work at all. It is always the state which is responsible for the law and order of the state. So it is the responsibility and it is the duty of the state to take it forward, any complaint which is being lodged. And as everybody knows, when a criminal complaint is filed, it is always in the name of the state. It is not by the complainant versus the accused. So the complainant is the state in this matter. So complainant saying that I have compromised, that compromise is possible only once the case has been registered against a particular accused, and then the state and then a compromise is filed before the police or before the court that we want to settle it. Only then the matter can be settled. But because I'll just give you an example. If say one brother kills another brother, kills or causes any harm to another brother, and then the mother says or the father says that we don't want any case against our second son, that is not possible. Then because most of the crimes are happening within the family, the husband, wife, or the brother, sister. So nobody would like. Somebody's got to be
punished. Somebody's got to be punished.
Would like his brother or his husband to go to the police. A father committing rape upon the daughter. So
what a weird situation we're in. What a weird situation we're in. And this case, it seems like, is already over before it could even begin. I mean, the question isn't about horsepower here. It's now about accountability. And this is where we're stuck with. This is what we're stuck with. Evidence surfaces in real time, but responsibility and accountability come day later. Many thanks to all of you for joining us here on this quick discussion. We'll leave you with this. Mr. Cherian, many thanks for joining us. Advocate Kalra and DGP Jain, many thanks for taking out the time. That's all the time we have for you in this edition of In Your Interest. We're going to keep our ears to the ground and bring you all the latest details vis-a-vis the Kanpur Lamborghini crash. But that's all in this edition of In Your Interest. We'll see you again tomorrow.
Bangladesh is on edge. Protesters also targeted symbols of Bangladesh's political history.
Mr. Yunus is being the new Jinnah of Bangladesh.
What defines this mob? Who are these people? Where do they come from? Pratham Alo, the newspaper, has also called it a terror attack.
Yunus is the Osama bin Laden of today's world.
The state has no strength, or those who are on the street are the state themselves. There's nothing called spontaneous mob. There's a theory called you keep the pot boiling.
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News 9. English news as it should be.
Hello and thank you for tuning into News9 viewers. I'm Deepak Suresh Kumar, and first up, action has been taken against the person responsible for a now deleted AI-generated video captioned "Point Blank," which had sparked a major political controversy involving Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma. The 18-second clip uploaded on February 7 to the BJP's official social media handle appeared to show the Chief Minister symbolically pointing an air rifle at images of two men depicted wearing skull caps and beards. The BJP confirmed that its social media co-convener Ron Vikash Gaurav was responsible for posting that particular video, and following widespread backlash, the party expelled him from his position. The clip went viral within hours, garnering over 5 lakh views on social media, and it also drew sharp criticism from the opposition Congress and several civil society groups who accused the BJP of promoting divisive politics ahead of the Assam Assembly elections scheduled for March-April this year. Multiple civil cases along with at least one police complaint have reportedly been filed across the country, and amid mounting pressure, the Assam BJP unit deleted the video, and the controversy had also reached the Supreme Court. This is the latest as far as crackdown is concerned by BJP on that particular video that was posted, and the man who posted it has been expelled. This is the BJP taking action against a person who made that controversial post that went viral quickly. And this is that post that we are talking about, viewers. This is that video that was posted of Assam CM Himanta Biswa Sarma. And this post had already garnered a lot of eyeballs. It had garnered a lot of traction, and for all the wrong reasons. And that's why the BJP has taken this particular move, this decision to expel him from his post, because this particular social media post had created a lot of controversy for the BJP. In fact, this had also reached the Supreme Court. So sensing a lot of outrage and anger against this particular controversial social media post, the BJP has officially expelled this man. And now what we understand is that further damage control is currently underway by the BJP. And just to give you a bit of a context, viewers, this person that you see on your screens is the social media co-convener Ron Vikash Gaurav, who was responsible for posting the video. In fact, we also have Digjyoti Lahakar joining us live on this broadcast. Digjyoti ji, a very good evening to you. This is that controversial post that had garnered a lot of attention on social media, but right now the co-convener of the BJP social media handle has been expelled. What more are we picking up?
This afternoon only, Ron Vikas Gaurav, who is the co-convener of social media of BJP, Bharatiya Janata Party Assam, in was handled. So he has been